All right, here's a question that brings out some other key features. All right, it says the graph of a quadratic function g is shown on the grid. The coordinates of the x-intercept and y-intercept and vertex are integers. So it's talking about the x-intercepts. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4. We've already talked about if it's on the x-axis, then that number goes with the x and the 0 goes with the y. Then I have this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. So that's 8 and 0. Those are my x-intercepts or my zeros or my solutions. Then my y-intercept is right here on the y-axis, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if it's on the y-intercept or on the y-axis, then the number goes with the y and the 0 is, or the x is 0. Okay. Now, this question, though, down here, this was a bunch of information we didn't even need. Right here is the question. Make sure you always read between the picture and answer choice to answer the question. What is the maximum? So remember, when we have a parabola, we have a very top point, or if it goes the other way, we have a very bottom point. If it's the very top one, it's called the maximum. Okay, if it's the very bottom one, it's called the minimum. And either way, they're both called the vertex. So it could have said, what is the vertex value of G? What is the maximum value of G? Either one's the same. So then I need to locate, what is this point? So this is 2 on the X. And this was 8, so that's 9 on the Y. So when I'm asking for the maximum value, I'm really asking for this Y value. So the answer to this would be 9. The height, because that's the Y value up and down, the highest point, the maximum, is 9. The vertex is 2 and 9, but the height is the Y value. So anytime it's asking for the maximum or minimum, you're looking at the Y value. Okay, here's another question. Which of the following is this time they said, vertex of the graph? So home, new document, save changes, no. Add a graph, whoops, that was that geometry. Add the graph, -x squared plus 2x plus 3, enter. So it wants to know this very top point. Well, menu, analyze the graph, and notice what you have here. Maximum if it's up at the top, minimum if it's up in the bottom. Maximum, I can click, slide, click. There's my answer. 1/4. Okay, so again, it's about vocabulary though. It's asking for the vertex. And it might also ask for the minimum. It might also ask for the maximum. Okay, it could ask for the zeros. If it asks for the zeros, then you got to find the x-intercepts. Menu, analyze, 0. There's one of them. Menu, analyze, 0. Click, slide, click. And if it had asked for zeros or x-intercepts or solutions, then it would have been asking for that. So you got to pay attention to what is it asking you to find. And then make sure you answer that question. All right. Here's one that shows up on the test. I've seen this come up a couple times. Scoot it over so you can see it here. So basically, if you look here, they've given you part of a parabola. They haven't given you the entire thing. They've given you part of a parabola. I'll try to make it in blue, see if it helps us see it a little bit. Well, that got ugly. Okay, so here's my parabola. And another key feature of a parabola is the line of symmetry. Okay, and if I look here, this line of symmetry, actually I want to delete this so I get a better look at where the line of symmetry is. The line of symmetry looks like it goes about right here. So remember, the line of symmetry is a line you can cut it in half and it's exactly the same on both sides. So if it's exactly the same on both sides, then if I look here at the, let's get my pen back, from this line over to here, I have about a half a box, or maybe a little more than a half a box, one box and a little bit more. So going this way, I have that little bit. I need one box and a little more than half a box. So it's probably going to be right here. All right, so it looks like that my other point, my other zero or solution, it says if the line of symmetry for this quadratic equation is x equals 1.25, which is about what we have, between two integers will be will the rest of the graph intersect the y? So it's asking if this keeps coming down, where's it going to intersect? It's in between 0 and -1. 0 and -1. Okay, but you have to match up that symmetry. How far over is it this way? How far over is it this way? You got to pay attention to the detail. All right, here's one for you to try. Okay, so again, first of all, we need that line of symmetry. We need to have an idea where the line of symmetry is. It looks like it goes right here in the middle, because that's the very top point. Again, other than the origin, which is the first point, at which point does the graph intersect the x-axis? So where is this going to come down at? Well, I have to measure. Here's a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to fall in on 9. And notice maybe this isn't the exact line. Maybe it's not exactly half. So notice we have 9.2. And so that would be the answer. Okay. It's not the exact answer. Well, they did give us an exact vertex up here, so that we can see that 0.2 in there. All right. Stop.